All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our next public meeting. And I'd like to roll call. All members of council are present. To the members, any disclosure of pecuniary interest on the agenda is presented to you this afternoon. None indicated, so we'll have that reflected in our minutes. The introduction and purpose of our meeting today is to hear public comment on a zoning bylaw amendment application for 1,232 square meter, 13,261 square foot property situated on the west side of Shawnee Road, approximately 31 meters, 102 feet north of its intersection with Briette Court, also known as 1441 Shawnee Road. Call upon our manager of planning and building services to present the report and certainly the application this afternoon.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Sean, attachment 1, please. So this aerial photo shows the subject property. It's an approximate 1,200 square meter or 13,000 square foot single unit residential lot that extends from the west side of Shawnee Road through to the segment of Briette Court that runs north-south. And it's part of a tier of single unit residential lots to the north that are long and narrow in nature. It's currently occupied by a single unit dwelling. The surrounding area, and if we go to attachment 2, Sean, this shows the surrounding land uses. As you'll note, to the north and east, the land use is predominantly single unit residential in nature. Abutting the property to the south are some semi-detached dwellings. To the southwest is a Briette Manor long-term care facility. And then to the northwest of the property on the north side of Briette Court are a mix of townhouses and semi-detached units. Attachment 3, please, Sean. So back in May of this year, the Committee of Adjustment granted provisional consent to create the severed lot outlined in red here with an area of 613 square meters or 6,600 square feet and a frontage of 15.2 meters or 50 feet and a retained lot that contains the existing dwelling and has dimensions of 50 feet in frontage, the depth of 132 feet and an area of approximately 6,500 square feet. That application also had the effect of providing provisional consent to the creation of a servicing easement for stormwater from the severed parcel to the storm sewer along Shawnee Road. As a condition of consent, the properties are to be rezoned, with the severed parcel being rezoned from residential zone R2 to a site-specific residential zone 3, R3-20, and that'll permit one semi-detached unit with specific minimum lot and yard requirements. And then the retained lot is to be rezoned to residential zone 2, R2-26, to recognize the lot area of 600 and roughly 6,500 square feet, which is less than the minimum established in the R2 zone of 6,996 square feet. The subject property, and Sean, if you can turn it to attachment 4, please, is designated residential in the town's official plan. And as I noted earlier, it's zoned residential 2, and that's shown on attachment 5. And the R2 zone doesn't permit the semi-detached unit, and hence the requirement for the rezoning. The amendment procedures for considering rezonings are outlined in 10.18 of the town's official plan, and it includes things such as conformity with the surrounding area, compatibility with the surrounding area, adequacy of the infrastructure, and adequacy of the transportation system. And the subject proposal meets all of those criteria. In fact, this is one of those opportunities for gentle intensification that we like to seize upon. It makes better use of land to create more compact communities, better use of the existing infrastructure. And I should add that it's serviced by the town's transit system. So it's a good proposal from a planning perspective. We are in support of it, subject to hearing from any stakeholders tonight that may have some issues or questions pertaining to it, Mr. Mayor, but I make myself available for any questions that council may have.
Thank you, Mr. Jeffrey. Any questions to administration at this stage? Yes, Councilor Tonio.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor, to Mr. Jeffrey. Is there a driveway on that service easement, or is that just for sewer, water, everything like that? Or is that going to be a driveway to the home, or is the driveway going to be coming off of Briette?
That is only for, it's a servicing easement for stormwater purposes.
Okay.
The driveway will be coming off of Briette.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Councilor Altnow.
Thank you, Worship, and through you to Mr. Jeffrey. Is there an existing stormwater sewer on Briette?
To you, Mr. Mayor, to Councilor Altenhoff, there is, but it's a good distance away, and there are conflicts with other services in the area.
Okay.
So it made it's unfeasible to connect to that storm sewer on Briette.
Okay. And as a follow-up, please, if you don't mind, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, go ahead.
The reason, the rationale behind that is I was just wondering, would it be easier just to tap in for the severed lot, everything on Briette, so that servicing easement does not need to be implemented, but it looks like that has been thought of. And for I guess the benefit, or I'll say the ease of everyone or all parties involved, it's better just to have that servicing easement then?
Mr. Mayor, that's correct. And I'll just note that Mr. Henderson is in the meeting as well, if he'd like to elaborate on the servicing issues.
Thank you, through you, your
Yep.
worship. Yeah, we looked at a number of different options with the proponent to try and deal with the storm sewer. Sanitary sewer was basically right there. Was a little challenging to get it there, just with where the existing sewer ended on Briette. But there was the ability to get it there, likely through directional drill. I'm thinking that's how they will ultimately do it. Water service is right in front of the property. The water main crosses it, so not an issue. For the storm, however, though, you could go back to the south to where Briette comes off of Shawnee. The sewer is too shallow there. We couldn't get it to go back that way. And then going westerly on Briette, on the other side of the Briette Manor is where the sewer basically ends. It's an open swale that runs along Briette down to that point. So there was no depth to take anything that way either. So the only option we could come up with that was workable was to put that easement through the retained property out to Shawnee.
Thank you very much.
Well, just on that point, Mr. Henderson, don't sign off yet. With the expansion of Briette Manor and I'm familiar with the swale there and in that area, but with the new construction, like what are we doing? Obviously retaining, there must have a retention for stormwater in that area, but is there an extension that is being proposed as they're building the expansion?
No, there isn't an extension of our storm sewer. They have a stormwater facility that they're proposing along the northern end of their site, basically across the whole width of their property. And it ultimately has the outlet at the northwest corner of their property into the existing storm sewer. So ultimate grading will remove that swale, and it will be treated like a regular boulevard, where the boulevard will drain into the common gutter. And then everything on their property is contained in their stormwater management system.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Any further questions to Mr. Jeffries at this stage here? If not, we do have delegations. We got Mr. Robert Furlano and I believe Mr. Gayfuzu for the applicant at 1441 Shawnee Road. I don't know if there's anything that they can add at this stage.
Yeah, hi, Mayor McNamara, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. Yeah, no, we're just, we're actually, what we're doing is fitting perfect for the area, what's there right now. I think it'll look good. Another semi right there. It's what's there already. And I think everything is perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions to a delegation or comments? I see none. Then if I could have a motion to receive the communications from the Conservation Authority. Councilor Tonio, Councilor Altenhoff, all in favor? Opposed, if any, that is carried. And if I could have, then if we'll move on to reports, G, if we can have a motion that PBS 2021-36 zoning bylaw amendment, condition of consent application B-0821, Andrea Howard at 1441 Shawnee Road to schedule a public meeting. So a motion, Councilor Jobin and Councilor Houston. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed, if any, that is carried. If there's no further questions or comments at this stage here, then adjournment is appropriate. Members of council, motion to adjourn. Councilor Altenhoff and Councilor Tonio, all in favor? Opposed, carried.